We're in Bangkok in Thailand at the Hyundai Rama 9 dealership. Why are we here? Because they've been kind enough to let us have a go at the new Hyundai Creta. Now, as you all know, the Hyundai Creta has been in the Indian market for quite some time now. It was given a facelift just before the pandemic, and now it's time for yet another significant facelift. We've always said that the Creta started looking a lot radical compared to the model that debuted in the Indian market. And now they've gone even more radical. This design is inspired by the new Hyundai Tucson. Take a closer look. The dimensions of the updated Creta remain unchanged, but you won't mistake it for any other car from the Hyundai lineup, thanks to its unique shape and silhouette. The big change, of course, when I say a Tucson-inspired design, are these discrete daytime running lights. So what you get now is 3 lights, the shape of which is exactly similar to the detailing that you see on the grille. And when they go off, they are completely discrete, they are hidden, you can't really see them. The headlights, you had a 3-port arrangement on the current generation of the Creta. When it goes out, what you get with the new car are these 2-port headlights, and then you also get the turn blinkers that are integrated right here within this assembly. I think it's a very handsome looking design. It has completely changed the look of the Creta for the 3rd time now, and I think it's going to go down very well with the Indian audience. Let me know, what do you think? That Tucson-inspired face, dark chrome treatment on the grille and subtle changes to the bumper help achieve a more premium look. At the rear, the black strip connecting the 2 taillights is gone, but could be retained on the India spec model along with a seamless strip of LEDs similar to the new Venue. On the tail, you continue to get the spaced Creta lettering. The design of the taillight may not look very different to you, but there are a few changes here. Let me show you that on the illuminated taillight. You get this extension in the taillight, which I think looks quite good. You also get a new detailing, a new crease, so to say, on the tailgate, which again helps kill the monotony of the taillight. That was a slight bit of a complaint. I'll not say it was a common complaint, but a few people complained that the tailgate looked a bit too monotonous, a bit too drab. The only striking element was the taillight. But now with these additional bits, I think it just looks a little bit better than the outgoing car. So overall, I think this is a very handsome looking facelift if you were to compare it to the outgoing Creta or even the previous Creta. The wheels on this model are very similar to the current India spec car, but we could get new design options that are inspired by the new Creta N line that was shown globally, and that will also debut with this facelift. Let's check out the cabin now. So in terms of the cabin, the Thailand model doesn't get the bigger screen that we already get in the Indian Creta. So that screen will continue to operate even in the new Creta when this one arrives there. It will have more connected tech than what the current car has. It will also have wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. The wireless charger was always there, but these 2 functionalities will be added. The other bit is the instrumentation. It will now be carried over from what we've seen in the Hyundai Alcazar, which means the layout will be very similar to the Hyundai Alcazar. There'll be a lot more data as well. One other bit for securing the cabin in terms of the safety is going to be this additional camera. Not this camera that you see, this is a dash cam, but there is a camera in this unit, and that will essentially, that forward-facing camera will essentially enable ADAS functionality for this car. There's going to be no radar-guided cruise control system because there's no radar, but there will be the camera, so you will get a lane keep assist, a lane change warning. It also has a blind spot assistant on this particular variant. I don't know if it will come to India, but I hope it does. I'm also hoping 6 airbags are going to be standard on the Indian variant or the Indian Creta when it comes out very soon. While the design of the cabin, the layout and the seating remain unchanged, the new Creta has blue ambient lighting in the dashboard and the cup holders. I hope Hyundai gives more color options for these lights when it comes to the India spec model. We had a go at the car on the streets of Bangkok, and honestly, it doesn't feel very different than the car back home. So the Creta that is sold in the Thai market, it comes from Indonesia. That is where the new plant is, that is where it's built. But in India, of course, it will be built in Chennai. India will also get different engine options. For example, the car that I'm driving right now is the 1.5 litre petrol. That will continue to be the base model for the Indian variant. And India will also get the 1.4 turbo petrol, and it will continue to have the 1.5 diesel as well, because even now, even with the kind of pricing that the fuel companies are asking for, diesel still remains a popular choice for the Creta lineup. So that will not change. It will continue to have a diesel, it will continue to have the 1.4 petrol, and the 1.5 naturally aspirated petrol will be right at the base. The 1.5 naturally aspirated petrol will come with the IVT, or Hyundai's version of the CVT, and the intelligent manual transmission this time around could be offered in more variants than one. The 1.4-litre turbo petrol will continue to get the DCT automatic, and the 1.5 turbo diesel will get manual and torque converter automatic options. I don't expect to see many mechanical changes for any of these engine or gearbox options. What could change, however, slightly is the tuning of the suspension. Now, I quite like the way the Creta has been tuned for its suspension, its ride quality, etc. But there have been a few complaints that the India spec Creta has a slightly stiffer setup, and that is something that Hyundai might look into. They might soften the setup a little bit, but that's about it. I don't expect many mechanical changes. The ADAS functionality with the camera and sensors includes lane departure warning, lane keep assist, forward collision mitigation, and driver attention monitoring. Now here the camera is not really picking it up, but I can feel slight changes, slight bit of corrections in the steering, and that's because of the ADAS functionality that I talked about. There are clear lane markings here in Thailand right now, and every time I'm deviating a little bit here and there, or maybe the road is curving a little bit, it's making these slight corrections to the steering wheel to ensure that I am right in the center of the lane. With Hyundai having calibrated ADAS for India now with the Tucson, these safety features are certainly coming to the India spec model. How many? Well, that remains to be seen. So if Hyundai does bring the added functionalities, the new features, the ambient lighting, the ADAS, and of course the new design, there is going to be a bit of a premium that they would charge over the outgoing car. The Creta is already considered to be quite a pricey product, and that price is likely to go up at least for the top-end variants. If they also make the 6 airbags standard, it is going to go up across all variants. But I think with the kind of premium poise that they have now managed, in fact they've increased the premiumness, the premium quotient of the car now with the new design. So with everything that they've done now, I think it will continue to sell in big numbers. It will continue to have that long waiting period that the current Creta is still enjoying. So clearly, Hyundai is going to have another winner on its hands.